Hello, just a short video because I was kind of bored and had nothing else to do, and I was looking at my little watch garden. That's the window ledge where I put my solar watches to charge, which one of the subjects of this video, the Citizen chronograph, which I showed before, would be one of those watches. That would be, and I have to look at my notes, a Citizen E210/105790, caliber 2100. 2100 is the name number of the movement in here, which is, as I believe I said before, last video, so, 13 joule mechanical chronograph powered by a lithium ion solar capacitor battery, whatever you want to call it. But this watch kind of like confused me a bit because there's some things about it where I'm like, hey, this isn't functioning the way that they advertise it or way you would read into it if you read the instruction booklets and stuff. So what I basically did was I started researching more Citizen stuff, kind of in a nerd kind of a fashion, but I just wanted to see. Well, this watch, this battery, it's a tiny version of a battery that you'd have in an electric car. The only problem in an electric car, you plug it in, charge it. This one, it sucks the energy out of the sky from the sun. That's the worst part of this watch. When the winter time comes around, you have to wear sweaters, long sleeve shirts, jackets. You're not getting direct sunlight. You will see the power up here level dropping big time, and you'll be kind of panicking. They say it'll go for 6 months without a full charge. Well, having it exposed to the sunlight, I mean, and I had some issues, and I went to one little watch place, and the gentleman that works there was a Japanese gentleman who worked for Seiko. And he rips these apart, these Citizens, and rebuilds them and stuff. And I asked him, what do you think of this movement? Because it's a fantastic watch movement. If you live in Florida, you live in California, you live in the Southwest where you get a lot of sun. Like, what do you mean? It needs direct feed of sunlight. Like, so if you're wearing it every day, if you're living there, it'll get it. Once the weather gets colder and you start wearing jackets and stuff, no, it's not going to do it, and it'll frustrate you, and you'll think that there are problems, but no, that's just a natural thing of it. Well, when you run the chronograph, which should be that, start, it's a power drainer on this, and it'll substantially drop it from level 3 to level 2. And it, if you run the chronograph all the time, you're like, oh my god, what? And still it's not getting, I mean, because you're not in direct sunlight and not charging, it's kind of holding its own a little bit. You definitely have to take this baby and wear it outside in direct sunlight, or my garden that I showed you at the beginning of the video, I place them up there and let them soak up the sun. Even on a cloudy day, they'll still get sunlight enough to get this thing back to full level. I think a lot of it has to do with Citizen's movement. I mean, it's a power-hungry movement, and because it's running an analog watch instead of a digital watch, it's gonna like drain a lot of power. So you gotta continuously have this thing going and soaking up sunlight. And like I said in the last video, the capacitor, they said, is rated for 10 years. But I say you never have to change a battery. And like, that was my initial video for this was, yeah, you do, but no, you're changing a capacitor because it's a solar watch. And basically that's what this is. It's a solar watch with a mechanical chronograph. And because the mechanical chronograph uses a lot of energy, if it were a mechanical watch, there would be the jewel parts that bear most of the work on that kind of a watch, and you'd be going in and paying a couple $100 to service it. Difference with this one, it'll tinker along and whatever for 10 years. And if you know anything about quartz watches and battery changes, you can actually do it yourself, which I did with this one. Rather than have Citizen charge at $200 or whatever, you can just go and spend under $50, get the capacitor yourself, pop off the back, put it in, reseal it, and it's fine. And that's, like I said, that's what I did. But my thing is, I'm used to mechanical chronographs and the way they react. So you don't see a power gauge like it draining down and stuff, which you would on here. But it's normal. So now that I've done that and I've worn this and used it as much as I could, and running the chronograph of it and seeing this actually happening and putting it up there, and it full charges. And now, because it's hot, it's kind of humid and sunny all the time, I've been wearing this like as a day watch, and I have no problems with it. You could even run the chronograph in the dark at night. It's not going to really jap a lot of power away because it's going to get regenerated the minute the sun hits it. So, which is good. So as far as this one, and I've been looking also, searching this particular model, and a lot of people sell these because this is a limited edition. There's only 2,100 of these produced, hence the 2,100 movement. That's the actual movement's name. So because of that, they're only making a handful, and I think mine is number 214. So it kind of gives it a little bit more value than you normally would have for a quartz watch. But like I said, it's quartz, but this is a solar watch. It's a little different. And I don't know if it's going to be worth anything someday, but I mean, like I said, it's not many of these are made. And being that you could go and fit a 24 millimeter leather band on this makes this even better, because most of these Citizen fancy EchoDrive chronographs, they have integral bands. They break, you're kind of screwed unless you go and you know somebody can get you parts, or you could buy an old one to cannibalize it. But then still, I think the quality on these limited edition ones, and I think they case these in Japan. So I know the movements are all made in Japan. Some of them are cased in China, some of them are cased in Thailand, whatever, but the special editions, I think they case them in Japan. It's another reason why I like to hold on to this one. I like Japanese watches. But as far as this one, if you take care of it and understand it, it's a fine watch. And I'm accepting that now. I'm not getting all panic struck or messy about it. It's just, that's how it functions. Now I understand it, and I'm happy with it. Now I just strive to keep it in good shape, which helps with the sapphire crystal. She's ready to go. Also, I said I was pairing these watches off with some kind of fine writing instrument pen. This particular one I've been using is Yardle Lead. I think I've showed this too. It's a really nice handmade English pen. I lucked out on this one because I got this one from a estate sale, and I paid $80 for it. If you go buy one brand new with a box and papers from a jewelry store, you're gonna pay probably $4.25 for this. Would I pay $4.25? No. Is it worth $4.25 if you're into that kind of intricacy and stuff? Yes. Was this worth the $80 I paid for it? Yes, 100 times over. Because this pen, if I can get the bottom out, besides its own refills, uses Schmidt or Diplomat German refills. Very, very easy to get. They write for a long time. They last good. And I buy these 4 or 5 at a time. And I could be using this pen as the only pen that I write with. I mean, it's that good of a pen. And it's kind of a historical pen too. And the thing I like about it, it's well made. It's almost handmade. But, so Yardle Lead Viceroy. So if you're into these and you want to spend like $500 for a pen, I mean, you're not gonna regret it. Like I didn't regret it finding this one. A few dings on it, but nothing bad. And I polish it and clean it up from an estate sale. But yes, this one I like as a day writer. This thing writes really, really nice. The refills are easy to find, and it's, I mean, it clips on nice. You can be like wearing anything, and it's a nice writing piece. Another one that I've been playing with now, it's an American made. They're not made in America anymore because I think they make them in England and France. Parker hatch pattern sterling silver. This is a US one. And the nice thing about Parker's is there are so many companies that make refills. I'm using a Schmidt in here because I'm using broad refills. They're a little bit better than the ones. Parker's mediums are okay, but they're kind of like more of a fine point kind of a thing. They make those in England and in France. These are made in Germany. I mean, I don't think you can find any of the old American made ones, because this was a premier American pen company based out of Janesville, Wisconsin. And they had a French and an English subsidiary. When they got bought up by a larger corporation, they shut down everything here, and their facilities in France and in England are the ones popping the pens out. Oh, I also have one in India, and I'm sure they do in China. But yes, Parker pens are good. Probably the easiest refills to find in the world anywhere, because other companies produce a similar type of a refill. You can get real cheap ones. You can get Parkers. You can get these fancy ones like I have here, these broad tipped ones. And this is another nice writing instrument. The reason I like sterling silver is because it doesn't wear badly. You can polish it, make it look good. And if you have sterling silver that's 925, which is solid, this thing is worth whatever its weight is, the price of silver at that point. You basically can take these in here. You know, people are like, oh, gold coins, silver coins. No, but you can have other things that have that type of property in terms of the actual precious metal and weight to make it usable. So, no, maybe not a bunch of coins like a pirate, but maybe a bunch of pens like that. Just a little goofiness of me. But basically, that's it. It'll be my last video on this Citizen watch, and I like these watches. They're very kind of user friendly once you get to know them. Do a little studying on them. They could be a really nice timepiece. Better than, your usual Kohl's or Target or Walmart watch. Way better. Unless I think one for like $1,000. I wouldn't pay that for it. I didn't pay that for it, but I mean they're solid watches. I mean they're nice, and especially with the sapphire crystal. So any questions or anything, you can respond to my video. I'll try to answer them back, and I'm gonna have some more plane and tank videos, and I don't know, any ideas. I'm open because I'm bored, so I'm making videos, and if I can make some videos that'll entertain and educate. And before I go, this is my Casio, which is also a solar watch, which holds its charge better. Could be the mechanism Casio uses, their solar mechanism, or is it because it's mostly digital and it doesn't use as much power? I don't know. Anyway, that's it. I hope everybody's fine, and hope to see everybody soon, and hope you like my videos, and I'll try to put out some more. Thank you.